Thank you guys for joining us. Those of you that are just um, coming in now, thank you for joining us. We have Asia. Thank you for joining us. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Hope you're well. Chelsea, Denise. We got Jarlin.
Hey, G.
G, how are you, darling? We got Jason. We got Matthew. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. I know that you guys could be at home watching Netflix. So that joke doesn't work now, does it? Huh?
We need new material, man.
Yeah, man, that joke doesn't work here now. We're all homebound. So okay, so we're gonna get started, and let me get this thing to screen share. Go share that, and there you go. Okay, guys. So thank you for coming. This is the Stroudsburg Real Estate Investors Meetup. Excuse me. And for starters, before I even get started, I want to encourage everyone. I like to share with everyone, first and foremost, is that we are living in unprecedented times. And we have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. There is a tremendous opportunity right now for true leaders to rise up. And for those of us that can stay calm, collective, and those of us that have lived through some other major crises in our country, leaders are born here. This is where leaders shine. Real leadership shines. So I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to stay calm. I encourage you to be smart, take care of yourselves. I encourage you to also be very cautious on who you're listening to. And today, Mark, Victor, and I are just we're going to give you information because we also don't know. And if we're going to be in integrity, we don't know for sure what the market is going to have. No one knows. But we're going to give you some tools. We're going to give you some strategies of what we think you could or should do, or we're just going to give you some strategies, right? On some of the things we're doing, right? When I created this community, many of you might have remembered this. We started this, we're not an old group. We're a fairly new group. We're about a year old. When we first started this group, I had a vision for this group. And I remember standing in front of the Perkins and saying that my vision for this group was for us to have a community that when there is an economic downturn, and Mark, you might remember this, and Vic, you might remember this, that we have a self-sustaining community, that no matter what's happening out there, this community in here can support itself. And I said that, and the reason I said that and the reason I created that is because the pain is still kind of fresh in my mind of what happened in 2008 and what we lived in 2008. I remember living that. So therefore, this is an opportunity that we have right now for us as a community, as a group, to live that vision. This is an opportunity. The time has come for us to come together as investors, ladies and gentlemen. The time has come for us to bring each other up and encourage one another. Yes? The time has come where the resilience of the American people can shine. Your resilience, our resilience. And we cannot let outside forces and outside negative energy impact us internally, our mindset. I'm not saying be irresponsible. I'm saying be responsible. I'm saying take care of your health. Do the things that the medical doctors are telling you. What I am telling you is do not focus on fear. Focus on what you can control. Focus on empowering yourself. Focus on your health. Focus on the things you could do, right? The time has come for us to step up as leaders, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare and plan for your family and my family and for our country, right? And loved ones. Hard times, difficult times makes strong men and women. Difficult times make strong men and women. I'm getting a text incorrect password. Hold up one second, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time where strong men and women are made. Winter is here, ladies and gentlemen. We're in winter season, but like every season, this season also shall pass. This is the winter, and I want to start this meeting with this, is that when you can survive something like 2008, or when you start a business in 2008, and you start a business during that season, when harvest season comes, you're coasting. Yes, does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? You can make it now. When harvest season, you'll be good. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the effects of COVID-19 and real estate, and how to get real estate deals done right from your home, okay? So the promise that we're going to make to you today is that we'll get the data. We'll give you data on the market as it relates to COVID-19, so you can pivot your investing strategy. Because here's what I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, if you are, I'm sorry, did that change there on my screen?
It's okay now.
Did my screen change?
It did, yes.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, I just wanted to move. I needed to move this here so I can see the presentation clear. I'm going to show you how to find deals. I'm going to also share with you some of the strategies I do, and some of the strategies that my mentees are currently doing on how to find deals in the market from home. The 3 secrets to getting deals, not just in this market, but in any market, okay? I'm also going to ask you to stay to the end. Those of you that stay to the end, I'm going to give you a free gift. If you stay to the end, I'll be giving you my habit tracker. And now more than ever that we're homebound,
yeah,
and it's so important for us to measure the habits at what we're doing. And the habit tracker helps you measure your habits and yielding the most results, and help you shed the habits that are not. Right now, your habits are super important. Guys, if you have your cell phones and your social medias open, I'm going to ask you to please close them. Please close out any emails or anything. I'm going to need your full attention for this so that you can get the most out of it. We spent a lot of time putting this together. So I'm just going to ask you to please put your things away. So being that we're going to spend the next 45 minutes together, is it okay if I share a little bit about me, guys? Can you guys just put in the chat, if that's okay with you, if I share a little bit about me with you? Is that cool, guys? Yep. Right, just put it in the chat box there. Make sure yeah, people are saying thumbs up.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. I'll tell you a little bit about me really quick. I first fell in love with real estate when I was 16. Okay, my mom put me out at the age of 16 because I was such a good boy. Because I was such a good boy, I didn't want to listen to her rules, so therefore she put me out. I don't blame her for that. I quickly realized that while I was out there in New York City sleeping in trains and rooftops and parks, that I needed money and I needed real estate. And I made a decision then, I needed a place to live. I made a decision then that I was going to buy a lot of houses and I was going to figure out a way to make money, right? And I had an external struggle, ladies and gentlemen. And that struggle was that I didn't believe that people that own real estate look like me, right? I didn't believe that people that own real estate look like me. And I also had an internal struggle, and that was, and maybe some of you can relate to this and not, is that I felt that I wasn't good enough. I felt that I wasn't smart enough. I felt that I didn't have any money, so that was a fact, but I had a mindset that I didn't feel that I was good enough. And I overcame that struggle when I bought my first house at 21, and I first bought my first investment in 2007. I was sharing earlier how I started in 2007, and I bought my first duplex in 2007, and by 2009 I was underwater. I paid a lot more than the property was worth. It was a nightmare for me with my first property. So this is what I'm talking about. I've been through some issues. I've been through some challenges in real estate investing. I hit a wall because like I said, I bought high, and I was underwater really quick, and I was playing the landlord game. And many of you are probably landlords, but as you know, that can burn you out really quickly if you're doing everything. And I hit a wall. I had an epiphany. And my epiphany was that I needed a mentor. I realized that I needed a mentor. I needed a coach. I needed a model. I needed something. I needed system. I needed something to follow. Okay. And so at that point, I decided to go find me a mentor, find me a model, find me someone to show me and help me what I can't see and what I don't know. Because the reason we don't have what we want is because of something we can't see or something we don't know. That's why we're probably here. Right? I got my education, and I decided to get my education in real estate, and I created a model to follow, a system, a process. Ladies and gentlemen, business is two things: systems and people. Okay. I created and found a system that allowed me to succeed over and over and over again, something duplicatable. But I had a conflict, and that conflict was that during that time in 2009, there was no money. Money was tight. There was a scarcity mindset going around in our country, similar to what's kind of like going around now. This is just the beginning, right? Similar to what's going on now. And I overcame that mindset by working with my coach, my mentor, and educating myself, improving my skills, becoming more and more competent. And as I did that, I realized that I don't need my own money to do deals. And maybe some of you are on here right now thinking, shit, things are going to get tough. I'm maybe laid off or things or whatever. But I will tell you that there will be money out there. There will be opportunities. There are people running from the market right now, looking for people that have the education and the skill set to be able to invest in a stable, because this is stable. Real estate is a stable income. What I realized was that I needed skill set and the mindset through that. And through all of that, I had a transformation, guys. And that was that my mindset changed on how I viewed and operated my real estate investing business. Today, I'm the creator of Maximize Your Full Potential, Decision-Making Strategy, and Overcoming Your Fears. I'm actually gonna recommend that if you're feeling anxiety or feeling fear, it's on Amazon, and I think it's like $1.97 to download. You guys can go and pick that up, and it's really powerful stuff on how to overcome your fear. I share some really good strategies there. And some of the other thing is, what's your life's purpose? There's another one I have on there, finding your life's purpose. I also have a real estate investing DVD that will be distributed and releasing to all major online and major retail stores on June 14th of 2020. I also have an online real estate investing course and available now. And my passion, ladies and gentlemen, are my family, mentoring, coaching, training, and creating cash flow through real estate. My purpose in life is to empower others to live life on their terms, as well as live life on my terms. I'm gonna now introduce you to Mark, one of the co-organizers of this event. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit, because we started this group together, and these guys put a lot of work into this. So we're going to be talking about these two things here, guys. We're going to be talking about the data from the past pandemics for us to use as an indicator as to what to expect with this pandemic. The 3 secrets to get deals and set yourself up for success when the dust settles, and the dust will settle. All right. Those of us that are going to win are the ones that are prepared. Mark?
That's right. Thanks a lot, Martin. Appreciate that. Hey, everybody. So I'm Mark Florentine with Doorway Homes and Doorway Funding. Doorway Homes, real estate investor in the area. And our focus is on buy and hold, multifamily. And we are moving right along. A lot of things we're going to talk about today. We're going to share with you guys opportunities to take advantage of because of the knowledge that we've been able to collect and hopefully, get that information across to you. But wanted to talk to you briefly about Doorway Funding. Doorway Funding is still open for business. The company is extremely aggressive now in its opportunity, in that where it was just loaning 20,000 to 400,000. Now we've gone down to 10,000. So people that might need just a little bit of a gap loan or a little bridge funding or something like that, or things are a little bit difficult right now because of maybe a job situation that's impending. If you've got the criteria, we talk about the fact that there's no prepaid penalty and so forth, but with the interest rate now starts at 6%. It is credit driven. We do need that 660 or above, and we do prefer that the debt to income ratio is 50% or less, but they've been taking a look at situations one-on-one and so forth. But there's a lot of business going on with that right now. And in fact, I have the site up there with the link for the website, but the website is still under construction. What I want you to do, if you're interested, is go to the calendly.com. So calendly.com/FUNDME-1. And you can set up an appointment on that. And we're more than happy to talk to you, see if we can get you funded. And funding is quick. It says there funding within 14 business days, but if you've got a W-2, it's 5 to 7 business days, and it's no fees up front. And the process is really very, very simple. But we also do, for people that are in business for themselves, we also fund them as well. So
if I may, Mark, I want to just add real quick, I want to make sure that, we don't have I want the audience to know we don't have our heads buried under the sand. We know what's going on. We know that people are out of work.
Yeah.
And we're about being proactive. So the dust will settle. This thing, I believe in the American resilience. I believe in our scientists. I believe in our doctors. I believe that the dust will settle on all this. However, you cannot let fear dictate you. You want to have conversations. Because there will be opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. There will be opportunities. And while this time that we're quarantined or whatever, you need to beef up on skills. You need to beef up on your connections. You need to start having these conversations. Like, I've had the conversation with my banker. I've talked to my contractors. I've talked to everybody on my team. Hey, what's going on? How can we prepare? And we're going to talk about that as we go down. But Mark, I would encourage you, if you're looking to do something, buy something, as you should in the future, you want to start having those conversations now.
Yeah, the other thing too is this particular product, you do not have to have a deal to do it. Okay, so once we send you the money, we don't care what you do with it, just as long as we get paid back. Okay, it's a signature loan, so it's not leveraged against a deal, which is also nice too, because if you do have a deal, we're not looking to be a second position. Okay, and a lot of times primary lenders, they have a problem with having a secondary position there, and this is perfect for something like that as well.
Perfect. Well, let them give you a call, Mark, and you can give them the details when they call you if anyone just wants to talk to you. Vic?
Sure.
Victor?
Yeah, and Mark, in the message, just type in the website so they can make sure they get that website.
Good idea. Thanks, Beb.
Got it. Hey, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself We're super excited to provide this, being able to have this virtual space with you guys. As you can see, the owner of VDL Homes. We buy, renovate, sell, rent, residual properties. We buy properties in any condition. I also wholesale properties. We pay a cash reward for referrals on any properties that are out there for homeowners that are looking to have a quick sale, quick closing. If you give us that lead, I pay $500 for that referral as soon as we close on that property. We also offer private money investor programs with 10% return on interest on the money that's borrowed, where we tie that money into a property, first lien holder on that property. And I also do construction consulting through my experiences working with my father. We do that also, and I project manage the work that you may have. If you're looking for a project manager, if you want to be a passive investor, have a project manager in place, I can take care of that for you. Little bit of encouraging words for you guys in these times. As Marin has said, the dust will settle. This too shall pass, and we're all gonna get through this. What I have to say is try to use this time to really think about your business. What areas does your business need improvement? Try to write down what's working, what's not working. That way you can eliminate the bad stuff. You know, that way you can change, improve. This is the time to do that. You know, as soon as this settles, we're going to be more engaged in our business, and time is going to be a little bit more scarce. But try to use this time for that. Connect with your customers, not just your families, but also connect with your customers. Call them, find out how they're doing. You know, you can communicate with them through social media, send them a newsletter, email them. Just keep the conversation going with them. You wanna make sure that everybody's doing okay. And you know, there's a lot of people that are in need during this time. See how you can be of service, and let me know how I can be of service. My email is up there, vdlhomesinc@gmail.com. My phone number's there. If I don't pick up, leave me a voicemail. I'm pretty quick on returning calls. So just, you know, every day as we have this, it's uncertainty, but try to keep every day with new initiatives. Write down goals so you're able to stay busy during the day. You know, we can always have a little bit of time off, clear our head, you know, go for a walk. Don't be scared of going outside. Go for a walk, enjoy the weather. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you for sharing that, Vic. And I have a tool that I'm going to give you guys at the end. Hang to the end. I'm going to give you guys a mindset strategy to create certainty for you and your nervous system, to create certainty in your life. Okay, so what to expect? The data from past pandemics can be used as an indicator as to what to expect with this pandemic. We're going to talk about the three secrets to get deals right from home and set yourself up for success when the dust settles. I want you to think for a moment. Can you imagine one day when you're earning thousands of dollars in real estate, if you're not already doing that right from home? Okay. When I think about that, and I think of the times that we're living in right now, I think of a story and some of you may or may not have heard me share this story, but I think it's appropriate for me to share this story today. This story, it's about a courageous young girl. Is it okay, first of all, if I share a quick story with you guys? Guys, just give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up in the thing. Say yes. Type in yes. Yes, is that okay? Let me know when I'm getting okay from these guys there, Mark and Vic. Okay, can you just give me a thumbs up, guys? Just type in a thumbs up.
You're getting.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. So this story is about this young lady. So once upon a time, there was this young girl, and she lived in this small village, right? And in this village, she had learned everything she was going to learn there, right? And one day she decides to leave the village and venture out so she can keep learning, right? Because she learned everything she was going to learn. And as she's walking through the woods and she's feeling the trees and the breeze, and she's looking at these big, big, beautiful trees, she comes up against this big, beautiful wall. And she walks through this door, and she realizes there are very few people in the streets, kind of like what it is here today in the United States, like what's happening in the world. People are home. People are afraid. And she looks around, and these people have this look of despair in their face. And she says to one man, and she goes, excuse me, sir. Why does everyone look like this? Why does everyone look like that? And the man responds to her. He says, oh, you don't know? Everyone, this is the time of year that the giant comes out, and he challenges us to go fight him. And whoever, if we don't fight him, if we don't sacrifice someone to go fight him, he will kill the whole entire city. And the young girl, being so smart and knowing so much, she was like, there's no such things as giants. I'll go fight them. Right? So they gladly put on the armor on her, got her ready, and they pushed her out. And they closed the door. And all of a sudden, guys, she sees this big, ginormous thing at the distance. And for a moment, she shivered in her armor, and she felt just like her predecessors, all the predecessors that died before her. But she decided, despite of that feeling, she decided to take a step forward, and another step forward, and another step forward. And as she kept walking forward, this figure kept getting smaller, smaller, and smaller. And by the time she's taking 20 steps, this figure was about 6 feet tall, and she was feeling good. She was feeling like, hey, this is a human. This is at least the size of a man. I have a shot at this thing. By this time, she started running, guys. She started gunning, and as she's running, it's getting smaller, 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 smaller. She gets in front of this thing, of the giant. She picks up the giant with her hands, and she says, giant, who are you? Right? And in a dwindling voice, the giant says, the Chinese call me Jung Fu, the Greek call me Phobos, and your people, courageous one, call me Fear. And poof, just like that, the giant disappeared. And whatever that story means to you, whatever that symbolizes to you, especially in these times, is perfectly fine. See, the fastest way to deal with our fears is to face it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm encouraging you today, not to live in fear, but to live in faith, to have faith that we're going to get through this. Be that courageous girl. Do the things that you can do. Control the things that you can control. Right? While everything out there is crazy, stand up. Be a leader. Be responsible. But don't let fear control your mind. There's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunities. My hallucination and my suspicion is that there's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunities in real estate in the near future. The opportunities that real estate afford us are endless. I will share this with you guys. If those of you that might be out there right now listening, that are some of my mentees or that have been around me quite a bit, living through 2008, you guys know that I'm very conservative in my numbers. You hear me always say the same thing over and over. It's not emotional. It's about the numbers. It's about the numbers. It's about the numbers. I got to have multiple exit strategy. I know Mark and Vic, we always talk about that. I'm always preaching that to you guys. Multiple exit strategy. I'm going to also tell you that those of you that work conservative, or those of us that work conservative, and there's some issues out there. There's potential of people not going to be able to pay their rent. And Mark is going to talk about that in a moment. There's some issues out there. But if you work conservative, you're going to be able to weather this storm. And if there's any lessons here, if you're just getting started and you're just brand new and this is your first webinar, this is actually good training ground. This is going to be an amazing training ground for you. I'm going to tell you that. This is going to be an amazing training ground for you. Okay, so here's some data, guys. Past pandemics. In 1918, the influenza, in 1918, we had the influenza, and in 2003, the SARS outbreak. Economic effects effects fell sharply during those epidemics, 5 to 10% temporarily to GDP or industrial production over the course of the epidemic, but snapped right back. Hold up a second. I need to move this thing here because I can't show. Okay, but snapped right back. Where am I? But snapped right back quickly after the epidemic. So when you look at the data, guys, when you look at the data, in 12 months, I had a chart I looked at. In 12 months in past epidemics, the economy takes a hit, initial hit, and then over 12 months it snaps right back. Okay, the pattern differs from a standard. This pattern differs from a standard recession, which is a situation in which economic activity falls 6 to 18 months and then recovers more slowly. Here's my, and I'm no expert, but I look at this stuff and I follow this stuff because I am an investor, so I'm always looking at the economic trends and the data. Here's the difference. The difference here is that our last recession was in 2008. I've been preaching to a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys that we're due. Winter's coming. I've been saying winter's coming. Winter's coming. Be ready. Winter's coming, or you're going to be ready when winter comes. And this is winter. We just didn't know that it was going to be a virus that was going to expose us, that was going to cause, the correction. During the SARS, Hong Kong house prices didn't fall significantly. So again, just data. You take this and you process it as you show. But transactions fell by 22 to 72% as customers avoided human contact. Does that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? Right? That sounds familiar, right? During the current crisis in China, when you look at China, the early news, the early numbers, okay, it's early. They just had 2 days or 3 days in a row where they didn't have any new cases, right? During the early news, the early data indicates that home prices have not fallen, but transactions have nearly stopped. I mean, they stopped, right? During standard recessions, home prices and transaction volumes may fall, but this is not always the case. For instance, in 2001, right? You guys remember 2001 recession? Those of us that are old enough to remember that we're adults. 2001 recession, I was a really young man, but I was in sales, I was in business. It didn't really affect the housing market. I bought my house the year before, my first house the year before. It is difficult to precisely forecast the probability of an epidemic related downturn and how such a downturn could provoke standard recessions, because this depends on how COVID-19 progresses. So we don't know, it's the unknown, and how this progress interacts with pre-existing recessions, risking policy responses. All right, so ranging from doing nothing to shutting down the entire cities for months at a time. So we don't know, right? So there's some uncertainty, and we have, G is on, right, Mark? Is G here?
She is, but I don't know that she has voice.
Okay, I can add her too. We have a medical doctor here, G, and I'm gonna have her share a few words of wisdom at the very end there. So here we are, the two most important factors. So right now I want to kind of switch gears. I gave you some data, and I want to switch a little bit of gears to give you some meat and potatoes of what you should be looking for as we're moving forward. Hold up one second. As we are moving forward with this whole epidemic thing here. The two most important factors in real estate investing, when this thing settles, we need to be looking, as you're looking to invest, and I'm gonna suggest to many of you, if you're flipping, this is probably not a good time to be flipping.
That's right.
This is a good time because we don't know if we're gonna go this way. We don't know if we're gonna rebound right away. So this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna share with you what I'm doing. Is I'm buying, but I'm buying and holding. I'm investing for cash flow. Those of us that were investing for cash flow in the previous years, and we bought right, are probably going to be able to weather this storm if we bought right and we have reserves and we were conservative and we did the right things. So two things the two most important things you need to consider are job growth and when you look at job growth, you go to diversification of different employers. You want to look at that. You want to see that there's diversification of different employers. You don't want to see anything heavily dependent in one industry. So what's happening now, if you have a portfolio and and 90% of the people that work for you are in the food and beverage and the hospitality business, you're going to get crushed, right? So you want to make sure that where you're buying, there's a diversification. There's not one employer heavy, right? You want to make sure there's diversification so you can be protected against things like this. And the next thing is population growth. Naturally, when there's decline in population, there's no industry, and when there's no industry, there's no people, and without people, we don't have a product to sell. We're not going to put people not moving in there. So right now, what I like to do is I like to give you guys an opportunity really quick. I know I gave you a lot of information, but I'd like to give you 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds to write down how this information right here that was just given to you can serve you and better prepare you for the upcoming days and the upcoming times that are coming. Go, 30 seconds, real quick. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You got 15 seconds. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to share it. I want you to share it in the comments. Share it. As you write it, you know what? Just write it in the comments. Write it in the comments. How can you pivot your business to take and find ethical opportunities during these times? I want you to write it in the comments. So how can you pivot your business to take and find ethical opportunities? So Jay Abrams, the #1 business consultant in the world, says, during difficult times, there are ethical opportunities. Everyone knows that in times like these, more millionaires are created than in any other times. Yes or yes, guys? Everyone knows that, right?
Yep.
Right? So go ahead and write your thoughts in the comments, please. I'd like to see some of the comments. Anyone writing? Anyone wrote anything? Mark?
Not yet.
So I'm going to give people opportunity to write something and write it in the comments, guys. Write it in the comments. Give me something in the comments. How can this information that you just got help you? How can this information help you? I'm going to give you another 15 seconds. Let me know, Mark, when someone is,
Yeah.
when someone wrote something in there. Come on, guys. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something, guys. Come on. There's value here. This is how we learn. We learn. You don't learn just from me. You learn from each other. Come on. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. This is a community.
Here we go. We got a couple of them coming in.
What you got, Mark?
We're excited about the opportunities that will inevitably be coming up to purchase more properties.
Awesome. That's right. There certainly will.
Yeah.
That's a mindset. That's a mindset.
And Chelsea has said more social media contact, reaching out to people to know, people you don't know, using Facebook ads, using Zoom for seeing properties, finding more opportunities.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. We got to get creative. One more. Give me a couple more, guys. Give me a couple more. Someone, right? Thank you, Chelsea, for sharing. Who was the other person that shared, Mark?
Mike. I'm sorry. I lost it.
It was, Michael Dugan.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I zoomed up too quick.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Come on, give me one.
Andy Cat says, redirect my marketing to buyers in essential work field.
There you go.
Perfect. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what we want to create. Is I want to create this community. You see, when we do this, and you guys share with each other, and we share with the group, we start sparking up the mind, and we start switching we activate the reticular activating system to start looking for opportunities. I'll take one more, Mark. I'll take one more. Guys, give me one more. One more share. One more share. Someone put it in there. How can this information you got here thus far?
Michael, again, setting out direct mail campaigns at this time will likely bring in more responses than normal.
Yes, Mike. Yes. I'm going to tell you why. Yep. Social media is flooded right now. I got to be honest with you. I don't think we've even gotten our mail today. But because there's so much on the internet right now.
Yeah.
I remember the days, Mark, and you probably remember this, the days when we used to get mail and we used to say, oh my gosh, all this junk mail.
Yeah.
Now we're at the point where all that, we get so much junk online that when we go get a mail, we pay more attention to the mail. Yeah. We still get junk mail, but we pay more attention to the mail these days. So yes, it's going to be tremendous opportunity, tremendous opportunities with that. So I want to hand it over to you, Mark, to take it from here on tips for buy and hold investors. So that's the play coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So
cash flow.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about, and thank you, Martin. We're going to talk about the fact that, if you have properties right now and you are either being the landlord or as the owner, having your managers, property managers, instructing them. The challenge, of course, is going to be, as Martin had said, it depends on your situation that your tenants have. Are they in the hospitality industry? Are they in trouble right now? Are they not working right now? So there's a potential that the rent might not come. There is a hold on evicting tenants because of COVID-19, all right? But that doesn't mean that there aren't things that you can't do. And honestly, you should be looking at it, and you should know this already, because if you're screening your tenants, you look at your tenant roll to see what industry they're in, see if they're a non-essential industry or an essential industry, as classified by that current report that's been put out. If the stimulus goes through, the other thing is, don't assume that just because they're going to get the money that you're going to get the money. So the best thing you can do is you can communicate. You can keep in contact with them. It's just like.
I'd like to add something here, Mark, real quick. I wanted to add something real quick to that first point. The importance. And Mark, I always tell you this, and G, the importance of screening your clients, and you too, Vic, of screening your clients right from the beginning. Because if you do the correct screening, all right, then that puts you in a position of strength when things like this happen. Right. You screen your clients correctly from the beginning, and you're not just filling vacancies to fill vacancies, just to say, hey, I filled the vacancy, I don't have an empty apartment. This is where it pays off right now. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry to interrupt you. Just for the newbies there that are wanting to get into business. Hey, listen, this is the best time, guys. This is the best time to learn this business, because you're gonna learn it in a time where everyone's freaked out. And if you can learn it during this time, you're gonna be a master during the easy times.
Michael just said in a chat, he said, people are gonna spend that stimulus check on a TV. So the point is, communicate with your tenants and let them know that, you mean business, that you've got to get the rent, but you'll work with them, The communication is extremely important. And that goes with anything. It's just like if you're behind on any bill, if you communicate with that lender or that creditor, hey, I got a problem here and so forth, you'd be surprised how they work with you. It doesn't mean that they're going to get away with not being able to pay at all, but at least there might be a way to work through the challenge. If they fall behind and an eviction process becomes necessary, again, you let them know that by putting through the notice, because this hold on evictions isn't going to last forever. Okay. But you can actually be helping with them by sending out the notice or having the intent to evict. It'll give them the ability to get the financial assistance they need through the different government's stimuluses that will be out there. And the other thing is, I had heard this too. Apparently, the United Way may be able to help tenants in certain situations. I don't know all about that yet, but I did hear that that was a possibility.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think the big thing here is communication, and don't be, you know, evil and you know, there's something on the news. I don't know if any of you heard it, but there was a guy in Allentown who's a very, very prominent investor. And as soon as this hit, he put a notice out to all his tenants. If you don't pay your rent on the 9th, I'm putting through the eviction notices. Well, that hit the social media, and he's got a different reputation right now. So, you know, be smart and be wise. It goes back to this knee-jerk thing, you know?
Yeah. Be empathetic, guys. I mean, let's all, you know, we're all in this together. So as an investor, you know, if I have a good tenant that's been paying me during the good times, it's difficult now. They're more, this is my point that I was trying to make earlier, right? If you do your screening right at the beginning, in the good times and the bad time, it doesn't matter. You'll have good tenants that are going to pay you your rent during the good times. When the bad time comes, if you have a bad tenant that's pays late, that doesn't respect you, doesn't respect your property, what do you think that tenant, how do you think, are you going to be more keen to helping that tenant, right? In the bad times, they're going to look for excuses not to pay you, right? So this is the importance of looking and doing your due diligence up front when you're buying, when you're putting tenants in, making sure that you're putting the right people and not just filling vacancies. You'd be surprised the kind of guys that are out there just filling, you know, Mark.
Yeah.
The guy with the 4 unit, I think you're going to share a little bit about that. You want me to move to the next slide?
Actually, no, there's a couple of comments that have come through that are kind of neat. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, let's start here. This was one from Michael again. Legal to keep security deposit in lieu of missing a month of rent.
No, it's illegal. You cannot do that. It is totally illegal. Do not play that game. It is totally illegal. Actually, in the state of Pennsylvania, the security deposit is supposed to be held in an interest-bearing account. Ask me how I know. All right? Ask me how I know.
That's a great question, and yes.
Done that.
Yeah.
It is totally illegal. You cannot, and do not let clients or your tenants tell you use a security deposit. You cannot. They cannot.
Yeah.
You are not able to do that. Security deposit is for security deposit.
Security deposit, yeah.
In the state of Pennsylvania.
Right.
Ask me how I know.
How do you know, Martin?
I know.
Andy Katz says, showing them you are a all business owner that is feeling the effects as well. Maybe show some concern for tenant and the property, cut the grass, power wash the building, that kind of thing. I guess that's something that, you know, could be done if it's needed, but.
That's an option. And then you got to be empathetic at this point where we are. We just got to be empathetic with one another. We are all in this thing together. You know, I am not the big bad. I'm not going to be perceived as being that big bad landlord right now. You don't want that.
G says something that's really, really, it's a great point, is not paying the rent is going to come up when they move out, because they're not going to get a good reference, you know, for where they're going to go to, right? So again, if everybody works together, hopefully the whole thing works, and you know, and so forth.
I'm going to move to the next screen, Mark.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. All right, good. So here we go. So now the next one is buying at the right price. Don't get stuck with a regret. All right. This kind of goes back to what Martin was saying too. The properties are being purchased at any price. Before all this happened, I don't know if everybody noticed or not, but the pricing was going up. The people were just flocking to opportunities and paying whatever to get a deal. Numbers, not emotion. It's a big, huge thing. It's gotta be about the numbers, because those are the things you're gonna have to live with for the rest of the days. The numbers that you buy it at are gonna affect how much return you're gonna get on it month after month, and how much you're gonna have to pay out month after month. You gotta buy it at the number that works for you. They need to be for you. They need to be the goals that you set for yourself, the business plan that you set for yourself. If I want to make $100 a door minimum, up to $200 a door, or whatever that number is, it's got to work that way. It's got to work that way, or it's got to be very, very obvious that with a little tweak, it will get to that.
So basically what you're saying is, Mark, is to make sure that you have clarity in your business. Clarity
Absolutely.
is what, brother?
Right.
Clarity
Yeah,
is what?
Clarity is clarity.
Clarity is power. Clarity is
clarity
power.
is power.
Clarity
Yeah,
is
I know.
power.
I always.
When you are clear on your objectives and your intent and your intentions,
Right.
you have power because you're able to walk away
Yeah.
from a deal, although it may seem like a deal, and you may go to a property and there's 10 other investors seeing that. Listen, I went to a property in Allentown, I'm gonna say 2 months ago with my commercial realtor, and there was about 10, 15 other investors. And I said, holy smokes. I said, Rob, this is 2008 all over again. Dude, this is scary because I remember this. I remember going to properties and having, Vic, I told you this the other few months ago. We were putting a bid on a property to flip. Remember back in January or December? And we offered $7,000 over. Guys, these are all cues. If you're new in this game, pay attention. Pay attention to what I'm saying to you. These are all telltales. Start grabbing data. Start learning what's happening right now. We were able to offer $7,000 over asking, and we got in a bidding war, and we didn't even get the property. Do you remember that, Vic?
Yep, absolutely.
And what do you think is happening to that guy right now that got it? If they're not a retail buyer, right? See, because they went on emotion because the banks created this mindset of scarcity, and we don't have, and that was the same crap that was going around in 2008, 2007, 2006. That created that issue. And I've told the both of you, I've told many of you on this thread, hey man, this is 2007, 2006 right now happening all over again. I've been preaching that stuff because I see the patterns, because I've studied the data. I lived through some of this stuff. So the patterns are, certain things that happen. Go ahead, Mark, because we got to get through this slide.
The big point here, be patient. Potentially there are going to be a lot of good deals coming down as this plays out. Long after the shelters in place is lifted, many will still be feeling the effects of this. It's going to take some time. This is not a knee-jerk reaction on this. The effect is here. The effect as it goes into real estate. Real estate moves slower than like the stock market. Okay, the stock market, as soon as it's hit, bam, it goes down. Right. This is real estate. Real estate moves a little slower. It takes a little bit more for the effect to take place, but it's going to happen. There's going to be additional opportunities down the road, And then I say here at the bottom, the story about the 4-door, very similar to yours. I was with Casey just a month or so ago, and we're looking at this 4-door, and everybody, his brother was there.
People can know who's Casey. Casey's the property manager.
Casey, property manager. Casey, hello, Casey. I know you're here. Anyway. Casey, property manager, was with me, and we looked at this property, and I'm ready to bid low. And she's like, this thing will never go low. And it was done, I think, that day, and it was over list, I'm sure. But now they're stuck with that.
There was a bunch of investors there. There was a bunch of retail people. There was like 10 people you told me there, right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. What
did I tell you, Mark? Yeah. What was my advice to you when you called me like that?
Well, I called you and I told you about that. You said, don't even waste your time. It's going to be a bidding war, and it's going to go high, and that's not what we do.
That's not what we do as investors. Someone's going to overpay. And guys, those of you that are on this call, maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you're trying to pivot to start investing, you're smart. If you're new and you're trying to get in this business, you're smart. If you have one rental or you want to get more in this business, because now you're seeing everything that's happening in this economy, you're smart. Because this business is not I believe wholeheartedly in this business. This business is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a get rich for sure, right? It's not a get rich fast, right? It's a get rich for sure. If you have the right skill set and you have the right education and you learn how to be an investor, not a retail buyer. There's a difference.
Right.
Does that feel right? Makes sense,
Huge
right?
difference. Huge difference.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to keep going. So how to get real estate deals from home. I'm going to share a few things because people are here and they probably want to, if you're a realtor and you're on here, the stuff I'm going to share with you also applies to you because a deal is a deal. You could list it, you could do whatever. You have actually licensed realtors have a sometimes better opportunities. You guys got to oblige by different laws and stricter laws, but you have the opportunity of putting the realtor hat on or putting the investor hat on. Man, that's nice. And I don't know if John is on this, but many of you that might be on this I have probably had that conversation. So like I just said, it's not about real estate. Is not about getting rich fast, but it's about getting rich for sure, right? And this is a great example. You buy your first property you buy your first one door, then you buy a two door, and then you keep going and you keep going and you build. So one of the three secrets to being successful in this business and doing deals from home is to get a proven system. Is to get a proven system to follow to get you consistent deal flow on an ongoing basis. You gentlemen are investors. Is that the biggest challenge for investors? Yes or yes?
It's absolutely important, and it is a challenge because you got to get it right, and it's got to work right for you.
So one of the biggest challenges with most real estate investors is that they don't have consistent deal flow, right? So a lot of times we're dependent on agents, and that's good. We should, as investors, we should have agents looking for deals. We should have wholesalers. We should have different people looking for deals. But imagine if you had a proven system, ladies and gentlemen, imagine if you had a proven system, a template that will help you fill your pipeline right from your couch. Imagine that for a moment, right from your
armchair
computer.
Quarterback.
Yep. Secret number 2 is post free proven ads in the right places, because that's the next thing is you got to know where to post. You got to know how to do it. All right. That's a timer. Post free proven ads in the right places that generate deal flow right from your computer. And I'll be taking questions at the very end of this thing. We'll open it up all the way for Q&A. Many investors and newbies don't know what to do or where to get deals from. Right. You guys remember when you were new? When I was new, I just didn't know. I didn't know where to get deals from. And I had to do what? Get my education. I had to learn. Right? There's so many opportunities right under our noses before all of this happened. Right? And there's going to be even more after this happened if you're cool and collective and you get educated and you can be that leader that I was telling you at the beginning to be. Right? There's so many opportunities right under our noses. We don't see them because we don't know where to look, or we're not focusing our energy, or we're not focusing our brain, our mind for those opportunities. Imagine if you had a proven system that you can get deals from continuously on an ongoing basis, next to no cost, just because you're being consistent and disciplined in your action. How can that improve most of people's lives? Right? Secret number 3, everyone knows that to be successful in this business, to be a successful investor, you need a systematic approach as to exactly what to say when the influx of calls are coming in. Because, okay, now you got a deal. A lot of newbies and even veterans are inconsistent on how they deal with when a potential deal comes in. A lot of folks don't know what to ask, because that's the next thing. If I give any newbie in here or someone that's, wanting to get started, what do you ask? Right? Well, how does that conversation happen? All right. Imagine if you had ads that knew right where to post them for free and had a systematic approach that will allow you to ask all the right questions you need to know to check this out, ladies and gentlemen, to either make an offer or know exactly who to wholesale this deal to. Mm-hmm. And what will that do for your business and life? To know exactly, imagine having a sheet of paper where you can ask all the questions and asking all the right questions that you can almost make an offer with that paper. Because you're asking the condition of the roof, the condition of this, all the questions you need to ask. Is that good or good, guys? Come on, give me a thumbs up. Guys, give me a thumbs up. Make sure they give me a thumbs up there. Say yes. Come on, guys. Say yes. All right. Everyone knows that. Yep. Right. Everyone knows that McDonald's success is based on two things, because they have a duplicatable system that works and have the people to work the system. Business is two things, ladies and gentlemen: people and systems.
Yep.
All right. The reason a lot of investors, and some of us maybe out there or wanting to be investors, I'm going to tell you, the reason we don't have an influx of deals is because we don't have the systems. A lot of times we're solopreneurs and we don't have the discipline to consistently do the action. Yes or yes? All right.
Yep.
I think this is a great opportunity to share the story of and I shared it at the RIA meetup last month, of this is what most people do. This is what most investors do. Okay. Think about someone pumping a well pump, a manual well pump. If any of you have seen that, you pump a manual well pump, you pump, and then eventually, after hours of pumping, you get a drop of water, right? But you keep pumping, and then you get a little more water, and then you get a flow of water. So here's what happens to most investors. They get a flow of water, they get a big deal, they walk away. Now you walk away from that pump, right? You walk away from that pump, what happens to the water? It starts to go back down because you're not consistent in the action, right? But what would happen if you pump, you got water coming out of that faucet, and now when it's coming down hard, you don't have to pump as fast. You just pump a couple times, keep it flowing, pump a couple times, keep it flowing, pump a couple times, you're consistent in your action, right? Well, this is the same thing investors do. They go, they get a big deal, they get a big wholesale, they get a big chunk of money, they go on vacation, they walk away from the business, they stop doing the things that worked. They don't have a system in place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does that make sense? Does that sound right? Does that feel right, guys? Is this good or good, right? Everyone, like I said, everyone knows that McDonald's has to, biggest success is because of their system. Everything's duplicatable around the world. So real quick, what I like to do is I like to give you quick 30 seconds. If you had a system like this, right? If you had systems, how could this help you and improve you? 30 seconds. Just write it in the chat. If you had a system where you could get deals from consistently, John, yep, I see John raise your hand. How can that improve your life? What could that do for you, John? Come on. Write it in there for me real quick. 30 seconds. You had a system that was duplicatable, proven. How could that improve for you? How could that improve your life? What would that do for you? I love this song, by the way, Michael Jackson. Gonna make things right. Who likes Michael Jackson? Give me a yes. Give me a yes if you like Michael Jackson. Any thoughts there? Any thoughts?
Yeah, some stuff's coming through.
Okay, let me see what you got.
All right, let's see here. Hold on.
This is how we grow. This is how we grow, by sharing with each other, one another, sharing.
Here we go.
Lee says, system keeps consistency produces product.
Yes, Lee, good job. How you doing, brother? It's good to see that you're here, man. It's good to see that you're here, Lee. Thank you for coming. Who else?
Michael, you'll be pulling in more deals with less work once the groundwork is laid.
Yes. Who said that?
Michael,
thank you, Michael. That's right. Guys, listen, this is the time to get ready. This is the time to prepare. This is winter. Right now, this is time to beef up on your skills, right? And one more before we go to the next slide. And
Andy says ability to leverage your time. I like that.
I love it, Andy. Andy Katz, that's my girl, Andy Katz. Andy, thank you for showing up. Okay, so how many deals do you need, all right? Look, I know that many of us are probably laid off. Many of us are at home. How many deals do you need? The average wholesale profit is between 3 to 5K nationwide. That's the data. Can you imagine doing two, if you're brand new, 2 deals per month, 2 to 3 deals per month, right? That can change your life, right? Yes or yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That can change a lot of people's lives. See, most people, ladies and gentlemen, they want to get a side income. They want to invest in real estate, but they don't have the education. They don't have the system. They don't have the skill set. They just don't. everyone knows that more millionaires are made during economic crisis in real estate than in any other time. And more millionaires, 90% of millionaires are made through real estate. And people want to get involved, but they just don't know how. They don't know where to start. Right, Vic?
Yes, sir.
Right? That makes sense? Let me ask you guys a question. This stuff is pretty good, right?
Right.
I'm sure you learned a lot, right? You learned a lot of stuff. And I want to make sure that I get an answer here in the chat box. How would you like to work with me directly where I actually help you implement what we just talked about? If it's okay, I want to make sure it's okay. If it's okay with you, can I share with you the system and how the system works? I want to make sure that I'm getting okay from there. Just give me a thumbs up, guys.
Yep.
Give me a thumbs up. Is it okay, guys?
Yep.
Yeah? Is that
Yep.
okay? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so here's what I created. I created this thing, and it just happened to work so well because in the times that we're in, I call it the Deal Magnet Wholesaling course. You get three things. You get a word-for-word ad template, where all you have to do is copy and paste to get started. It's a $40 value. It's not expensive. The next thing you get is you get a word-for-word ad template with the headlines, right? So you don't have to think, guys. It's McDonald's again. It's just a systematic approach. So here's what we got so far. We got the word template, ad template for $40. That's a value of $40. You got the word-for-word headline ad template, which is another $40 value. And then you get, the third thing you get is you get an easy to follow step-by-step system with videos to show you exactly where and how to post these ads for free. Is this good or good, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, right? You're getting the full system, right? So here's what we got. The word for ad template, which is a $40 value. The word for word headline ad template, a $40 value, and an easy to follow step-by-step system with videos to show exactly where and how to post these ads for free. $120 value. The fourth thing I'm giving you here is a training how to get your first, second, third wholesale deal and start making money right now. Let me ask you guys a question, Victor and Mark.
Yeah.
You guys are investors, right? Are you guys looking for deals right now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Victor, you called me this morning. This morning we talked and you said to me, there's a deal I want us to do together. Let's talk about it. Was it yesterday? I don't remember. It was maybe this morning. You're looking for deals.
Yeah.
Mark, you and I always talk about deals. Are you guys looking for deals
Yep.
right now?
Yeah.
Right? You're buying, right?
Yeah.
Right? We see opportunities. We're buying, right? So,
Yeah.
so there are buyers out there, guys. Investors, we are buying. We are buying, right? You get an on-demand video training with me sharing my secrets to getting deals now, okay? And how to find guys like these two guys that are here and myself, because I'm buying, right? So here's what you got. You got, so far we've gone over, you got the word-for-word ad template, $40 value, word-for-word headline ad template, $40 value, easy to follow step-by-step with videos to show you exactly where and how to post ads for free, $120 value, training how to get your first, second, and third wholesale deal, start making money right now, $500 value. We got a total of $700 value. My bonus, I'm giving you a bonus. So here's the what to say, exactly what to say. You got my proprietary lead sheet. Mark, you've used this thing.
Yeah, works.
You've used this thing, right, Vic?
Yep.
Is this to ask everything you need to know about this, about the deal? Yes or yes?
It's
Yeah.
all there.
Everything you need to know. Feel confident knowing exactly what to say when people call you. $100 value. I created that by myself, by the way, this thing. So word for word system on what to say when people call you. Hey, listen, by the way, if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this lead sheet is absolutely gold, because you can take listing calls and ask all the questions and know exactly what's going on with that property. Just with this, it's super valuable for you. Okay, you'll be able to send that information to me, guys like Mark and guys like Victor. Okay, all you have, you'll have the information you need to know about the property without ever visiting the property. Then you have Zillow and all of those good things. All right, so here's the thing. You have the word-for-word ad template. You have the word-for-word headline ad template. You have the easy-to-follow step-by-step system, $120 value. You got the training get your first, second, third, fourth deal, $500 value. You got the proprietary lead sheet that I created, $100 value. You got an $800 value. Guys, I have a question for you. If all this course did was get you one deal at $3,000 per month, would it be totally worth it or not? It would. It would. We have 30-day money back guaranteed. Here's the good news. I'm not going to charge you $800. It's only $37. Is that good or good, guys? Right? So you got the word for word ad template. Guys, this is the time. Here's why I created this. I created this and I priced it this way because I understand what's happening right now out there. I understand that people are home. We need to beef up on our skills. You need to be ready. All right, you get the word for word ad template for $40 value. You get the word for word headline template, $40 value. You get the easy step-by-step system with videos, $120 value. A training, how to get your first, second, third wholesale deal, $500 values from me personally. And you get the lead sheet, $100 value. Total of $800 value for $37. You can go right now to elitewholesalestrategy.com and get it right now. You can get it right there. Is this a great deal or a good deal or an outstanding deal, guys? Come on. What are people saying? Give me some feedback there. Guys, what's that?
Yeah, Andy's jumping out her seat.
Yeah.
This is a public service deal, guys. This is a public service. This is a $37 thing that I would normally for this courses. This section of it, it's worth $300. You'll see it. Okay, this section of this, the lead sheet alone is worth a ton of money. This is an investment you will make in yourself. Listen, Rich Dad, Poor Dad said. Poor people, Robert Kiyosaki says, everyone knows who Robert Kiyosaki is, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Poor people buy liabilities. Rich people put their money into assets. You know what your biggest asset is? Yourself. Yourself is the biggest asset. This is an asset that will serve you for life. This skill set, no one can take you. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Guys, this is getting you ready for the tsunami of opportunities that's coming ahead. Okay, a lot of you guys come to our meetups. I know a lot of you guys come to our meetups and go home with a lot of information. We gave you a lot of information today, but don't progress month over month because you slide right back into your old habits. You go right back into your old habits of not doing things. Mark, I know you can relate to this kind of this stuff we're talking about. We talked about it this morning a little bit.
Yeah.
Here is the time to break that habit and take action and enhance your skills and position yourself and your family to win, especially during this time. Guys, again, this is a public service announcement. Go to elitewholesalestrategy.com. It's a deal magnet wholesaling course, $800 value for only $37 today. Over the last 45 minutes or 50 minutes or so, you got a lot of information, but information alone, it's not what's going to help you guys. It's a system. What you need is a system. What you need is skills to help you be prepared to capture opportunities that will present themselves here in the near future. Yes or yes, guys?
Yes.
Right? Yes or yes, right? Again, Deal Magnet is only $37. I promised you guys a free gift for those of you that stood from the beginning. We talked about habits a moment ago. I'm going to give you my habit tracker. Right, my habit tracker. Vic, do you have yours handy somewhere?
Yep, let me get it.
We can show it to them. I'm going to give you my habit tracker. I have mine right here. No, that's a contract. You guys, check out something real fun. I pulled out a contract from my binder. This is I carry them around with me. I don't know if you can see it. Agreement of sale. I carry them around with me because I don't know where the next opportunity is going to show up. I don't know if an opportunity is going to show up. This is a free gift. So here is this is a habit tracker, guys. Is extremely important. I'm going to highly recommend you I'm giving it to you for free, proprietary thing. And what this will completely help you, especially in these times. There you go, weekly habit register. Especially during these times where you're home and you're probably lost because you're like, what the hell? What time do I wake up? Where do I do? Where do I go? Are you just watching Netflix? This will help you create new habits. You will start blocking time to do certain things. So you're going to start blocking times to go and spend some time on posting your ads. You're going to start blocking times to go learn, to go watch the videos, to go learn and beef up on your skills. This is going to help you. You're going to block it. And it's got some questions in the bottom that allows you to measure at the end of the week how well or how poorly you performed, or how those habits are yielding results or not for you, and so you can adjust them. Because what gets measured gets what, Vic? You know the answer to this.
Improved.
What gets measured gets improved. If what you focus on expands, and what you focus on grows, and it shows. Okay, so I want to open up right now for Q&A. Guys, ask us anything. We're going to go 15 minutes Q&A. Ask us anything you want to ask us on how we're handling anything in the market. What are our thoughts with anything going on? Or if you have a question about the wholesale thing, whatever you want. I want to go a few minutes and do Q&A. Let me know, Vic, if we have any questions. I'm gonna finish with Michael Jackson here as we get some questions coming in. Any questions, guys? We're open for questions. Any thoughts? I do want to give you, I'm going to do a 5-minute Q&A because I'm going to give you a mindset strategy immediately. I'm going to do 5 minutes. So type in any questions you have. Maybe a question is, hey, how are you managing your mindset? That's a question. You can ask me that, or you can ask Vic or any of us. Vic, how are you managing your mindset in this time? Let me ask you that question so we can give some feedback to.
My mindset, I'm being very mindful of the information that's coming in. Watching very little news. I'm staying updated on the news, but very, very minimum news during the day. I'm utilizing my habit tracker. I do everything based off of that, so I can measure it. I can see where my time is going. Especially now we have quite a bit of time. I'm not out in the field. But just like you guys, I'm stuck here at the house. But I have everything allocated as far as reading, exercising. I have my family time. Take a look at the list here before I forget any. I'm meditating. Allocated some time to help the wife cooking, doing the dishes if I'm not cooking, and just staying very, very positive.
Beautiful.
Anybody that has any negative thoughts or they tell me that they're in fear,
right now is not the time for those people.
No, I
encourage them,
that for them.
Energy. Yeah.
Yep,
Do we have any questions? Any questions come in? Any questions come in?
No
Nothing
questions yet.
Any questions come in?
Was that good?
Okay. If they don't have any, Mark, what are you doing to manage your mindset? And I'll share last. And unless if any questions come in, I want to answer questions. I want to
focusing on the things that are important. I'm at home, which is different for me. I'm usually out on the road all the time, so I did have to make some adjustments to the habit tracker. But just focusing on the goals, the things that I have to be doing, the things that I can do to improve.
Yes.
And also helping out, just like Vic said, helping the wife and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But listening to the information, but sifting it through additional information that I've learned and just good old common sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Do we have
Andy's asking about the property rehab tour that we're going to be holding in June. As of right now, it's not canceled. We're holding that the first week of June, and based off what the president said today, he's hoping that everything is back in order by Good Friday. So we'll see, but that is still available. We haven't canceled that yet.
Right.
Yes. Good question, Andy. Good question.
Mike,
do we have another question?
Yeah, Michael's asking, what's anyone's experience with sellers carrying second mortgages? Maybe too specific of a question.
When you say seller carrying second mortgage, it might be, what I could tell you is that there's going to be a ton. Here's what I'll say. I'll just answer that generically, Mike, but there's going to be a ton of opportunities for creative financing. And those of you that are that are around me know that I'm the creative financing king. I love to freaking just get really creative when it comes to deals. There's going to be a lot of opportunities, and there's subject twos, right? So there's the opportunity to do subject to mortgages. There's the opportunity to do wraps with people. There's opportunity for people to hold paper for you short term. Guys, when people are in fear, okay, people make irrational decisions. So I said earlier that I was going to talk to you guys about, I spoke to my banker.
Go ahead.
And let me share that with you. The bank sentiment right now. His response was, and he's going to come and be a guest speaker in the next upcoming event. Do we have any questions before I go on into this?
No.
That was it so far.
Okay, so I spoke to Tony, I'm going to say, 3 hours ago, right before the end of business day. He was at the bank. I called him this morning. He returned my call. And I said, hey, Tony, I did the SWOT analysis. So, my potential threats, my strengths, my weakness, and other threats, right? That's the SWOT analysis. I did the SWOT analysis on my wife and I sat down, we did the SWOT analysis. I did it with Casey, my property manager. Casey, you're on there. We talked about it a little bit. And I looked at my portfolio and I said, okay, where are my exposures? Who's in the, I did all of those things that you talked about. However, there is some uncertainty that we don't know what can happen. Here's what my hallucination is, that it's going to take a minute for the economy to rev back up. We just stopped an engine. We got to turn it on, and people are going to be in their heads. You got emotions. So I said, hey, Tony, look, based on my portfolio, we're good, because we have 85% of my portfolio is Section 8, and I've got very strict rules for Section 8. However, we're good, right? We're good. But I do want to talk to you about what's happening. What's the bank's mindset? Where are you guys? Are you guys tightening up? And his answer to me was, hey, Martin, the bank right now, we're in the business of lending. We want to continue to lend. This is the vice president of the commercial division of the bank, by the way, right? And we want to continue to lend. And our biggest thing is that we're not in trouble. It's a virus that is causing trouble. He explained to me, he was like, in 2008, the banks were in trouble. The banks are not in trouble right now. It's a virus that's causing the American people to be out of work, that's putting them in trouble. So the banks, we're not in trouble. And, while that was a good answer, me being me, I said, hey, Tony, that's cool and everything. However, the thing is that you may not be in trouble, but you're going to adjust to this, because people being out of work, you guys are going to change your rules. There's going to be some adjustments. You can't tell me that there's not. He was like, yeah, there probably is. The one thing that he did already tell me is, in 2021, when they're looking back at new loans, so next year when they're doing new loans, right, when this is all behind us and we're like, holy smoke, we outlived the corona and all this stuff, he said, we're going to kind of have to ignore the tax return. So this is an upside, guys. We're going to have to ignore the tax returns from 2020 because of the coronavirus, right? So when he looks at my P&Ls for my business, or he looks at a restaurant's P&L, or any business's P&L, or an investor that's wanting to, they're going to have to ignore 2020's income because of what's happened. So that was kind of where what he shared with me. That's the in so far, but I'm in constant communication with my team, with everyone in my team. I am in constant communication because I need to know, hey, what's happening? Casey, I know you're probably out there. You're filling that vacancy for me. Yep. You got to fill that vacancy for me. We're in the middle, and I'll share this with you before I go into the mindset strategy I want to share with you. We're in the middle. We just purchased an asset in February 14th. And we're in the middle of a rehab, guys. We're in dead smack. It was a fire property. That was what this meetup was supposed to be. This was supposed to be about rehab. Remember, Vic? We're in the middle, dead smack of a heavy rehab. It was a fire property, and so construction is a gray area. It's essential. It's one of those essential work. And I called my contractor and I said, hey, I need you to, it's essential. You can go. And he said he wanted to wait another week because he's afraid, and he's afraid for his family, and his workers are afraid. And what can I say, right?
That's
What can I
the
do?
same feedback I got.
Yeah, what can I say? What can I do? So, there's a lot of fear going around, but I bought that asset. I want to go back to the point I was making. I bought that asset for $26,000. We're putting $35,000 into it. The ARV, the value. This is the importance of buying with numbers, using your mind, using your brain. The numbers, not emotion. Bought it for 26. Let's call it 25 for round numbers. I'm putting 35 into it. What's that? 25, 35, 45, 55, $60,000. The ARV, for those of you that don't know what the ARV is, after repair value is 150,000. Let's assume I got 60,000 into it, 150,000 ARV. Let's assume that the market goes, ooh. If the property ARV goes down to 120, it drops $30,000 in the next 90 days. I'm still insulated correctly because I bought right. I can still refi that property. That's an asset that's going to produce income, and I'm going to be able to get cash out on that deal no matter. Let's say even further. Let's say that it goes down to 100,000 the value of that property, right? And I get 75% of the loan of the property's value from my bank, $75,000. I'm still good. So I want to emphasize to new investors, seasoned investors, you make your money when you buy.
All the time.
You make your money when you buy. You don't make your money when you sell. You buy right, manage right, right? Buy right, buy right, buy. You make your money when you buy. So I want to give you guys a strategy. Do I have any questions on the chat there? Any questions?
One more.
One more?
Yeah.
Okay, shoot it.
Michael says, do you think interest rates for mortgages we buy and hold and BRRRR method will continue to fall in the next 2 months or rise like we've seen the last 2 weeks as refinance demand is high and rates actually increased instead of dropping with 10-year bond?
So my thought on that is, that's a good question, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the interest rate drop. So what we need to understand is that, I'm sorry, those are my dogs. What we need to understand is that the Feds dropped the rate to 0, but that's that's how they lend money to each other.
Right.
It has nothing really to do with us. We follow more the 10-year Treasury. So while the rates drop, we haven't seen an effect of that. However, my suspicion is that in the near future, once the dust settles and all this, the rates will drop. That's my suspicion from my experience going through something similar in 2008. All right. So I like to do this thing really quickly. Do we have any other questions? I want to address any other questions that we may have? No. I hope that answered your question, Mike. Just give me a thumbs up or give me a yes. Answered it the best that I could. Just give me a yes or a thumbs up. Yeah, just guys, do me a favor. Guys. Those of you watching, just give us a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you're finding value in this today. Just let us know that you're finding value in what we're sharing with you today. While you do that, I also, Mark, we talked about hosting another webinar in another 7 or 10 days, and we wanted to put it out for a bid with the group.
Right.
Would you guys like us to have, because there's going to be newer information, there's going to be new things coming out. I'm going to be talking to my team. I'm going to be talking to my colleagues. I'm going to be, in my network every day. I'm in my network. Would you guys like us to have another webinar for this group, for this community? Remember, this community was created to create our own economy, regardless of what's happening out there, that we can trade deals and we do deals amongst ourselves and we can grow together. Do you guys want, would you guys prefer a webinar in the next 7 days, or you want us to have another one in the next 10 days? Give me feedback, Vic, Mark, give me feedback.
I'd say by then, hopefully we have some deals with the deal magnet.
Yeah, 7 days or 10 days, guys. 7 days or 10 days. Tell me what you guys think.
Michael wants the meeting ASAP, laughing out loud.
We're seeing a bunch of 7s.
7
days.
7s? Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll do it 7 days. Let's put it out right now. We'll send out an email tomorrow to all of you that were here. We'll send out an email tomorrow with the webinar link. If not, you can go to the Meetup app. I'll put it there. That's what day is that? Can one of you brothers tell me what day that would be, gentlemen? You gentlemen, 7 days from now would be 7 days. Duh, that's next Tuesday.
7 to 31st.
That's the 31st. Okay, the 31st. We'll meet again the 31st. Again, guys, I'm going to give you a quick strategy. What I like you to do, no one can see you anyways, is whenever you're seeing or hearing or feeling bad news, and you're getting this crap coming in, because there's a lot of the fear monger going around right now. What I want you to do right now is, and just play along with me, is just close your eyes for a second. And with your eyes closed, I want you to think about 30, 60, go 90 days out. Let's go 90 days out. And I want you to go from that space and see everything and all the intentions that you're setting for yourself in your life, all of your goals. See us coming through this, see yourself coming through, your family coming through this healthy and okay. See yourself in a barbecue, thinking to yourself, see the universe agrees, thinking to yourself, wow, we came through that. We were strong, we came out better. I want you, with your eyes closed, see yourself in that barbecue, having a discussion with your family and saying, hey man, we came through that, you remember that? And hear people telling you how proud they are of you for taking a leadership stance and being the person that encourages everyone else, for being that steady hand that loves and cared and showed compassion responsibly for everyone else, that led. And see yourself from that space, having that discussion, hearing, feeling all of the things you would feel if everything went perfectly for you. That's right. Everything went perfectly for you. Everything went perfectly for you. See, guys, what happens is your imagination, your unconscious mind doesn't know the difference with what's real in the real world and what's happening in your mind. You can feel it, can you not? You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. That's right. You can feel it. You guys can open up your eyes. And what I want you to do, the strategy I gave you, it's a little bit, it works much better when I do it in person with you guys. And I'll see you soon. Hopefully next month we'll have our event live. But whenever you're feeling anxious about anything, about a meeting, about this coronavirus thing, close your eyes for a minute. Just breathe, close your eyes for a minute, and then see yourself. See yourself coming out on the other side of it. See yourself winning on the other side of it. It'll make you feel much better. Scientifically proven, guys. You have a cell in your a gland in your brain. It's called the amygdala, and that's what triggers your fight or flight response. When you do this, it calms down your amygdala, because when you're hearing all this news and you're feeling that feeling in your system of fear and oh my gosh, and you get the thoughts, this brings it down. This calms it down, like it did right now if you did the strategy. You have the tool, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Anyone else? Any other questions? I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me to serve.
We're good.
Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for allowing me to empower you and share with you. I just want to continue to serve and empower others to live life on their terms. Okay. Thank you guys. And remember, guys, step up, be the leaders, be that steady hand right now. That's what your family needs. That's what your neighbors need. That's what your friends need. Be responsible, but don't let the fear overtake you. Don't let the fear overtake you. You are a warrior. And you know what? Let's do something real quick. Put your hands on your heart. Put your hands on your heart. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. I am a child of God. Repeat after me. I am a child of God.
I'm a child of God.
I'm a child of God. God is with me and God will protect me.
God is with me and God will protect me.
I am a warrior.
I am a warrior.
And I am not afraid of challenges.
And I am not afraid of challenges.
I am a warrior.
I am a
I am a warrior.
And I act in spite of fear.
And I act in spite of despair.
Guys, that's what successful people do. Successful people are fearful. Successful people get scared.
What's the website, Martin, for the system?
Elite Strategies. EliteStrategy.com. EliteStrategy.com. Put it on there. Put it on the chat there for them. EliteStrategy.com. Guys, again, thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for allowing us to serve and share with you. We'll see you guys in 7 days, right? So
All right.
a week from now, same time, 7 o'clock. We'll send you guys an email. Do me a favor, just in case, because I'm new to this whole webinar thing. Go to the Meetup app. Go to the Meetup app. I'm gonna set that up tonight, and I'm gonna do it all there. Go there, and the link will be there. So meetup.com. Go to the Strasbourg, what is it? REI, or Real Estate Investors? Strasbourg
Real Estate Investors Club.
Yeah, Real Estate Investors Club. You'll find it. I'll put the link there. Go there, guys. Again, guys, thank you. Stay positive, stay healthy, take care of your families, and be the leaders you were born to be. Share your gifts with others.
All right. Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay. And